Okay, so on the new AMS plan, which was before called the VoIP plan, but we added too many features. The new AMS plan has the full VoIP dialer, but it also has agent recruitment and other record types as well. So this is the feature that we're covering today. You can now recruit from the system. So here I have a new recruit that has been outreached to. I can add in others as far as just manual entry by clicking add, or I can also import the agent just like on a spreadsheet for a lead or a client. So the spreadsheet import is here. And then you would just follow the instructions just like you do for leads and clients. But here I will just add a new person in. I will give them the status of new recruit outreach. So let's say this is Paula Vaughn. Okay. And her email is email@e.com. And so on. I can fill out as much information on her as I want, and then create. So now she's in our agent recruitment. It looks very similar to the client side of things because it has this enable self-service option. So you can share documents with this person, but it has create user, which I'll show you in a few moments. That is a way for you to make them into a Radius user from this file. But before we move on to that, we can see here that we can add in contracts. So if I have a contract with Aetna with her, or she's working on that, maybe she got certified on the 1st and she's now pending or active, and the contract date is going to be for the March 3rd, and the termination date, I don't know how long these are, but let's say it's March 1, 2024. The first contract number, what state or states, if there's anything that's outstanding that needs to be dealt with. Contract number 2, their NPN number, a writing number, and anything else you want. So we've now added that one contract, and you can keep on adding as many as you want, just similar to the products section. But what's really cool is if you have their NPN, you can run a national producer report. So here you can do the production report right within their file. Then once you go through that recruit phase and you get them in as an agent, you can create them as a Radius user by clicking create user. And then it's going to grab all of the contact information. We'll give them an username and a password. Their time zone is going to be, let's be in Hawaii. She's going to be an agent. Maybe she can only see her own leads, but she can access unassigned, and she can only see herself as the agent. So I'm setting her permissions. Record permissions, I'm going to remove all the deletion options, but she can see the rest. She can view SMS and all tasks on calendars because she might help with appointments and anything else that I want to do here. I will assign her to a downline team if I have downline set up. So she'll be on my Colorado sales team, and she's not the admin. I will create this user. It'll take a few moments here because it's creating her profile within the system, and it is moving over her contracts. So now the contract is listed in her user file. Also, you can track E&O, licenses, and more. Now, when I go back to agent recruits, she's still there. So that way her file notes and everything is there, but you can click on this view user button to go into her user profile. And you'll notice that the contracts have now been moved into that contract system. So that's in the user profile. So if I click on view user contracts, it'll bring me into our file rather than holding it within the uh, more working agent recruitment section. Another part of this is that you can go to settings and record types, and you can tweak this a little bit. So you can change the name to agent recruitment instead of agent recruit. You can modify the custom columns. So if I wanted to know, maybe I've got a field for like um, their previous agency that they've been with, or if there's some other kind of like contract status or something like that. So I'll just put companies in there for right now. So you can create that. I don't want the temperature counts. I do want the record counts. I don't need the recents. So you can customize this a little bit. The other really nice thing is you can now create additional record types. So you see here, I've got employees. So if I do group health or group policies of any sort, I might need to have employees carved out. So instead of them being either a lead or a client, I can have them in that area. Client relationships. This is super helpful for people who do P&C, who do life, who do health and Medicare, because you might want to market to people that are the spouses of people who are on your Medicare policies. And at the spouse is turning 65 date, you want to market to them and say, hey, you're related to somebody who's turning 65, who's a client of mine. You might be eligible for a household discount. Contact me and I will help you. Or you have a beneficiary, maybe a year after that person's passing, you want to reach out to their beneficiaries and send a condolence card, because nobody's going to buy life insurance from you when they're dealing with an estate, but they might after a year because they will see the value. Okay, and then you can have other contacts and archive. Archive is great because if you put deceased people in there and do not contacts, then when you're creating automations, let's say for birthday. So let me skip into here. Settings, automated workflows. I could add a workflow specifically for birthday and send it to everybody except for the archive. So that way I don't accidentally send somebody a happy birthday and they've passed away. Because, sometimes it's people check their loved ones' email accounts and it can be just a little sad. So you might want to exclude that. And also the do not contacts, which would probably already have had an unsubscribe on them. But just to be on the safe side, it's helpful that you would have this option. So you could send it on their birthday. Or for that example of the Medicare option, so maybe it's for everybody 180 days before their birthday. And we'll do it just for the client relationship. So we can be super specific in the fact that I'm the agent of one of your loved ones, wanted to reach out to see if you're eligible potentially for a household discount or other benefits that I can offer you, whatever that is, right? So once you set the trigger, then what you can do is add in specific actions. You can create a new task. You can send an email to the assigned agent record, a specific agent or a specific email address. Send a text message. So you could do something like, hi, George. So, hi, George. I'd love to bring you onto my team. Here's my calendar, for example, if that was an agent recruitment one. Add a tag, remove a tag, add a note, reassign an agent or a record status, add or remove from a call queue. Two new things in here: convert to record type. So now if after a certain amount of time, you want to move them to a record type of archive, so that way they get put into the other, maybe they're put into a do not call list or something like that, you can move them now after a certain amount of time into a different record type. Also, we do have this mail postcard. This is for direct mail manager. So that's a special feature that we'll be covering on the automations day. But I just wanted to kind of whet the appetite on that one, that there is a postcard option there now too. So that's really it. I mean, basically, it looks the same. It's pretty straightforward, but you do have the availability to have those contracts and the NIPR report. You can create them as a user directly from their file, which is super helpful. You can share the documents that you have with them using the self-service. So this is a really great tool for you. And especially if you want to build your agency, to have all of these options to have that agent recruitment directly in your Radius profile. You can also create very specific status dispositions. So you can go in here and add a status disposition for agent recruitment as the group, and then the status might be AR, outstanding CMS compliance training. Because maybe that's a hold that you have. So that's like a slowdown of the recruiting process. And maybe you need to follow up on that. So now if I go into agent recruits, I could mark her from the status of new recruit outreach to her status of outstanding CMS training. And that could then generate a whole workflow where it keeps reminding her that she needs to get that done before you can take her on. Any questions? Any ideas of how you could use it that might be helpful? I mean, I know that we'll do the work session next week on this, but.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Oh, yeah, I can.
Okay, sorry, I was trying to ask you a question. First of all, that was amazing. I don't even think you stopped to breathe with that. That was really good. When you are doing the contracts, is that something that can automatically send out that contract as well? Or we just know that they're working on that contract?
It will not be something that gets sent to them. Here, let me look for somebody who's not here. Here we go. So the contracts will be there for you. And if I click enable self-service, I believe you would need to upload it as a file to share with them, because it's not going to put the contract up here for them. It would be just in your records, not in their, not something that's shared with them. But you can do shareable files by attaching a file here and then uploading it and sending it to them.
Okay, so if we had, so say we had like contract links. So instead of them, I was thinking about embedding them like in on the website somewhere where I could send them to that. But if they go there, I'm just trying to think of the most efficient way to do it when I'm onboarding a new agent. If I have it built out, and it'll just be a link that we send to them, or should I send them to a website and say, here, get these contracts? Or
yeah, I would say a link is a great idea, because then in that new recruit status, right, if you have a workflow that generates that email template to go out to them that has the link where it says click here to start your contracting process, and then it drives them to that site and it has them walk through everything, then that's like a nice easy follow-up. And then if they don't reply back with that contract, you could send them follow-up messages, because they would just stay in that wherever that stage is of the process. If they were still in a status of new recruit outreach, you could send them an email next week saying, hey, are you having trouble filling out your contracts? Let me know if you need any help with that. I've got office hours on these days.
yeah, that would be awesome. So that's kind of part of more of the automations section.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the automations, but I think it's good to understand how the status dispositions, if you think through how you want to do them with the agent recruitment, that will really, really help you as far as like, oh, okay, this is my process for recruiting agents. And this is the way that I want to kind of send the messages out, because then it's going to be so much easier when we're doing the automations to kind of really make that a very streamlined process.
Okay. And then mine, I don't know, mine might be a little different than anybody else's, so I don't want to spoil the thunder, but I know you're looking into mine. for that agent recruitment section, because mine doesn't say like contractor type. It-
So if you are, I think you're on the AMS plan. If you're not on the AMS plan, you wouldn't see this option, period. And you would have to be an agent recruits to see the contractor type.
yeah, I'm in agent. I think we added that section as something different
Got
prior
it.
to them adding that. So I
Yeah.
don't know if mine has all the features that it
Yeah. So
supposed
you have to be on the AMS plan for this to be there as a feature set.
to.
So
Right.
if you
I
just
mean,
add something,
I'm on there. I have that plan, but I had that on here before I joined the AMS plan, and
mhm,
mine says agent recruitments and
mhm.
not agent recruits. So I don't
Oh,
know if
that's okay.
that's
I edited that in the last class to show
okay.
you that you could edit it. So if you've got agent recruitment there, you should have it. It might just be because you've edited your coverage type so many times that possibly the contractor thing didn't show, but it's okay. I think that we'll be able to look at that more in depth when it's the work sessions and see how we can do that. But if you click into your agent recruit file and go to information, I think that that's supposed to be the default now for if it's an agent recruit. But we'll look at that on the work session.
Okay.
Anybody else with any questions? All right. Well, tomorrow is the VoIP features and also the executive reports and how to use those. The reason why we're doing the two of them together is because once you start using the VoIP, see the lead conversions, you can see the, or not the VoIP for that, but the call statistics, the call outcomes, appointments, and agent activity. So this is like a nice little executive overview of your agency. So we'll be covering that and the VoIP features and kind of how to utilize things within the new feature sets with that. Because we've actually added some new stuff into the AMS or into the VoIP system as well. So that's tomorrow. I'll be posting this video shortly, but if you have any questions, just let me know. Use the help app just because I'm stuck in meetings most of the days this week and next. And then if you are a client already, you would have received our invitation for the client work sessions. If you haven't, it might be that you just aren't the account owner and we only send it to the account owner. So that way we're not, spamming every single agent. So let me know if you do need that invite link resent to you or sent to you for the first time. But otherwise, I look forward to seeing you hopefully tomorrow or next week on a work session and keep me posted on questions. Bye.